value. This week, we are going to create desert landscapes using tonal gradations. So let's watch a video to see how you're going to do this. Here is an example of the final desert landscape. As you can see, we are using two different colors to create two different tonal gradations. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get your materials ready. For paper, you can use white paper or lined paper. I would say if you have white paper, use white paper. If not, then use the lined paper. The paper can be computer paper, printer paper, it can be drawing paper, whatever you guys have access to. Then you have to think about what color material you're going to use. I went ahead and tested a bunch. So here we have a couple examples of crayon. Here, the final example that I showed you earlier, this was all done with crayon, just one red crayon and one blue crayon. And then I tried out a bunch of different color pencils. So remember, you have to pick one cool color and one warm color. So for this example, I'm going to do color pencils. When I put the mediums in the explanation, I wrote that it has to be something that can create different values. So for this example, you're not going to want to pick markers because markers don't give you the ability to pick value. So you're going to be picking from your cool colors, which are your blues, greens, and purples, and then you'll have your warm colors, your reds, oranges, and yellows. So I'm just going to pick one from each. I'm going to pick what's called a dark blue, but it's just a variety of a blue. And I'm going to pick, let's see, the orange I want, okay? I'm going to put my other ones to the side. Now, before I get to the color part, I have to draw my lines to define the layers. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of find my midpoint, and I'm going to draw a line to create my mountains. Now, there's no real rule about this. It's kind of up to you. I would like you to have at least 5 layers in the sky and 5 layers of the mountain. And just like usual, you want to create these lines with light pencil so that it doesn't become too obvious when we go to color it. 1, 2, 3, 4, so I need at least one more. All right, so I have my 5 layers here. And then for the sky, I'm going to start with a circle. And that's going to represent my sun. And then I'm going to have circles going around it. Now, you'll notice that when I get close to the edge, it gets a little awkward. So that layer is just going to go off the paper. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I'm good there. All right, now, the next part is to make sure that I have everything. I've already chosen my colors, so I have my one cool color and my one warm color. It does not matter whether you put cool or warm. It's up to you how you want it to look. So I'm going to do my orange in the ground, and I'm going to do my blue in the sky, kind of opposite what I did before. So I like to start off with my light value and then work my way down. Each layer is going to have its own value. So I'm going to do one layer at a time and then go to my next one. So as I do this, go ahead and watch. I'm going to kind of fast forward so you can see it at a quicker pace. For color pencil, I'm going to make sure to go really, really light with pressure to create my light values and heavier pressure as I go down. Now, one thing that I often get asked by students is, how do you create the light value? I have students often tell me that they're heavy-handed. So the recommendation that I give for that is just hold your pencil a little bit differently. So a lot of times when you grip your pencil, it's hard for you to do it. If you raise your hand like you saw I did, and I almost like colored from the side, I'm not actually putting any pressure on it. I'm just kind of dragging it along the paper. So that's kind of what you want to do. Now I'm going to my second layer. Keep watching. Alright, so now I'm done with my tonal gradation for my bottom half, and now I'm going to do my top half. Instead of doing it up here and smudging all this up, I'm just going to rotate my paper so that I can work in here first. And remember, I use my warm color, so now I'm going to use my cool color. Alright, now for your sky, I want you to leave the center circle totally blank. So this is going to represent the sun, and then you're going to go to your lightest shade of blue here. Watch how I kind of rotate my paper around as I color, just so I have a better ability to get my mark all the way around. So now I'm gonna go back and do the same thing I did in the mountains, where I noticed that one of my layers could be a little bit darker. So what the technique I'm gonna use is layering, so that I can, I don't need to use a lot of pressure now. I'm just basically adding a second layer of pencil on top of it, which will make it look darker. So now I have my finished desert landscape. I have my tonal gradation with my warm color and tonal gradation with my cool color, going light to dark, or dark to light, and then also making sure I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so at least 5. Don't make too many because it'll make it really difficult for you to do this. And again, if you have any questions or concerns or whatever, please reach out to us and let us know. Good luck this week, and we can't wait to see them.